Let's talk about understanding the nature of conflict in organizations. My name is Natalie Garamone. I am the owner and principal consultant of 180, and we specialize in workplace conflict resolution and mediation. Organizational conflict may seem like it happens out of nowhere. If you are a manager, if you are an executive leader, you might all of a sudden one day receive an update that two team members are just not getting along. And it might seem that this is coming out of nowhere, but folks like myself who spend time working with teams and individuals understand that this is often a result of much deeper issues that have probably been going on for some time, longer than you'd probably hope. So, why does it happen? There is kind of a process flow for the nature of conflict in organizations that might be helpful for us to understand when we are trying to have some resolution or work towards a better, more improved dynamic. The first stage is really that initial opposition. It is actually potential opposition or potential incompatibility. And we're talking about incompatibility, we might be talking about things like communication, maybe structure, maybe some personal variables like work styles or communication preferences. And we call these kind of antecedent conditions. These are the things going on in work relationships or on a team that maybe we can't see, but we oftentimes feel. Antecedent conditions turn into one of two things, either a perceived conflict or a felt conflict. And that is what we call stage two, cognition and personalization. And at the cognition and personalization stage, we're saying, okay, I think something's going on here. It doesn't feel right. It feels like maybe we're clashing here. The conflict is realized likely on an interpersonal level. That shifts into stage three, which is where we start to see some intentions come into play, and particularly conflict handling intentions. This is where we may employ one of our different conflict management styles. And typically in the context of Thomas Kilmann conflict mode model, there are 5 different ones: competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating. So one of these folks who is perceiving or feeling that conflict might shift into conflict management mode. After conflict management mode, behaviors, stage 4, really start to show. And we're talking about each party's behavior and the other person's reactions to those behaviors. This is conflict management in practice. This is where maybe folks are trying to have those conversations themselves. Maybe they're going to HR, or they're going to a manager, or they're going to a leader to try to resolve the conflict. And sometimes this helps, right? We leave stage 4, that engagement and discussion and dialogue, heading into stage 5, which is outcomes. If there has been psychological safety, productive dialogue, if both parties feel heard, if the process has been satisfactory to each person involved, then you are likely to see increased group performance. People leave that situation feeling good. They feel in a better place. If, however, they do not leave that situation feeling like anything got resolved or that they were heard, valued, respected throughout the process, what you're at risk for is decreased group performance. It's why it's particularly important that, especially at stage 3, where we shift into actual management of conflict, and stage 4, parties engaging with each other and really behaviorally engaging in the process, that the right folks are involved. This might look like HR, it might look like a leader. In some cases, it might look like an outside party if folks feel like they're too close to that situation to support the parties in handling it directly. So this picture of organizational conflict and how it moves through the very invisible stages sometimes to what we see and feel and hear as conflict on teams is really important to understand, because it gives us a broader context for how to help folks who are moving through this on an interpersonal level. My name is Natalie Garamone. I am the owner and principal consultant of 180. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to 180.io for resources or to schedule a conversation and complimentary consultation if you do feel like maybe outside support would be helpful. Thank you so much.